Hi everybody, Dr. Bill Crawford here, psychologist, speaker, author of 7 books, host of 2 PBS specials. Here again to bring you another tip on how to help you create the life you want. Today I want to look at a quote that I'm sending out to those 5,000 plus folks on my quote list. It says, being afraid of things going wrong isn't the way to make things go right. I found this on Pinterest, and I've added a little twist to it. At the end of that I put true and not true. So let's examine it and see how that's helpful. In terms of being afraid of things going wrong isn't the way to make things go right. For those of you who've been following my Life from the Top of the Mind philosophy, you know why this is the case. Because when we're afraid of things going wrong, it throws us into that lower 20% of the brain. That's where we don't have access to our clarity, confidence, creativity, and we get frightened, or we get worried, or we get stressed, or we get frustrated, or we get anxious. We find ourselves doing things and saying things that are more reactive than purposeful. So it's difficult to make things go right from that lower 20% of the brain. It's just not equipped to make things go right. It is equipped, however, to keep things from going wrong. If you're in a fight or flight situation, if you're driving down the freeway the wrong way, then you should be very afraid of things going wrong, because that will help you get off and turn and change and make things go right. If you're in an abusive relationship, then that is all about things, being afraid of things going wrong and you changing that so that things go right. So when we're in a fight or flight situation, when we are physically in danger, being afraid of things going wrong does help us make things go right. But notice how rare that is. I mean, most, I would say maybe 90%, sometimes 99% of the situations we find ourselves in on a daily basis are not truly fight or flight. We can't really deal with them from that fight or flight perspective. In these situations, we need access to this clear, confident, creative part of the brain. And we can't access that by being afraid of things going wrong. In order to make things go right, in order to be more influential in our lives and the lives of others, we have to bring our best to the situation, our best thinking, our best clarity, our confidence, and our ability to make things happen. And when things don't happen the way we want them to, we've got to be able to pivot, be creative in how we deal with that. So we can't do that from that lower 20% of the brain. We can't do it from the reactive part of the brain. We have to do it from the purposeful part of the brain. Now again, for those of you who follow the philosophy, you know that I actually teach people how to shift from that reactive brain to that purposeful brain, from the brainstem to the neocortex, how to stay there. And if you're dealing with someone else who is resistant to what you're saying, they're in that lower resistant brain, how do you get them to shift from their resistant brain to their receptive brain so they can hear and understand what you're wanting them to know? If you would like me to come to your organization, help you do that, that is what I do. I go around the world teaching people this system. If you would like to work with me as a psychologist, a life coach, executive coach, whatever, just go to my website, billcrawfordphd.com, or just Google Bill Crawford PhD. I'll come up on the first page. Hit the contact button. Let me know what you're interested in, because I love to help people, individuals, and organizations do this. So if you're wanting to deal with life from this upper 80% of the brain, from the neocortex versus the brainstem, from the top of the mind versus the bottom of the mind, I encourage you to check this out, check me out, let me know what you're interested in, and again, I'd love to talk with you about that. In the meantime, here's to you, bringing more clarity, confidence, creativity into everything you do, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.